So the same thing can be said about visiting the island. I mean, he had many legal business dealings outside of what he was doing in his personal life or what he was doing illegal.
Real life. It ain't real life. Just say real life street stars. Know what time it is.
Now we have to talk about, this whole situation with let's say the shutdown got shut down, right?
Right.
But bigger than that, right? This whole Epstein file thing, right? It's so crazy because I actually end up watching the documentary on the Epstein to understand how sick this thing was, right?
Yeah.
It's like human trafficking on a whole nasty, perverted, crazy level, right?
Exactly.
So I always was wondering, why do they keep saying release the files, release the files? Number one, do you think they're actually gonna release the files? There was a video showing that they actually, I don't know if it was in the Senate, that they said, we're gonna release the files. Do you actually think that's gonna happen?
Yeah, I think it will, unless. So this is why I lean on my experience in working as a parliamentarian in the House. All the momentum can be for them to release the documents. However, there could be a procedural mishap that prevents them from doing it. And so there's a couple of theories out there. And the procedural aspect of it, it can always be remedied in most cases, but you just have to take a look and see what issues were there. But one of the things that they're saying is because of what they're voting on actually states, as long as there's not an ongoing investigation, then the files can be released. So we can vote to release the files, but if there's an ongoing investigation, then the Department of Justice is not releasing those files until they conclude their investigation. The same thing happens in any criminal case in which, like for example, some of you guys may know someone, not saying you, but they got arrested, right, and their car got impounded. Mm-hmm. They got out of jail and went to go get their car, but the police said, it's an ongoing investigation, you can't have your car. It's an ongoing investigation, you can't have your phone. It's an ongoing investigation, you can't have your laptop. And so that term prevents anything like that from being made public.
Damn. So let's play this out, right?
Right.
Let's say they do release it. Mm-hmm. And let's say the president's in there.
Right.
What happens? Can anything happen? Can he pardon himself?
So a couple of friends of mine, lawyers, have gone back and forth on what he can and cannot do. If he can pardon himself, chances are he will. If by chance he can't pardon himself, one of the things that he can do, and I don't know procedurally the timing of what would need to take place, but if he stepped down and J.D. Vance became the president, J.D. could pardon him if he couldn't pardon himself. So either way it goes, he's kind of in the bird dog seat to potentially take care of himself if anything should happen. And
can they press charges for them being on a list?
No, you can't press charges for people. I mean, because what is the list? Is the list people who just knew him? Is the list people who were on the island?
Right.
And people who visited? I mean, you can't put anyone on a list because of that, right? Because you think about it, using cases dealing with the Boy Scouts or the Catholic Church. The fact that I went to this church, am I part of the problem? Was I in collusion with them actually doing this just because I attended there or I went there? No. So the same thing can be said about visiting the island. I mean, he had many legal business dealings outside of what he was doing in his personal life or what he was doing illegal. So I don't think that's enough. They're going to have to show more than that.
Got you. Number two, one of the things that I wondered was, God forbid, but let's say Obama was on there or somebody that we revere. What would the fallout be then?
I mean, you're going to always have people who don't like him, who are going to throw sticks and stones. But you think about it. Let's say Epstein had an event at his island that was a fundraiser and people came in. According to the list, all of these people are on the island. But the flip side of that was none of these young women were on the island, or the young girls were on the island at the same time. And so these individuals flew in and flew out. The difference is when there's not such a large social event happening and there are only a few, predominantly all men, who've flown to the island, then that's something that they'll be looking at as far as the investigation is concerned.
Man, that's interesting. One of the things from the shutdown that happened, right, is Trump proposed a 50-year mortgage, and there was outrage. Now, I didn't understand the outrage because you could always have option. I mean, if they're just giving the option on the table, it's just an option. But number one, you had something interesting about the 50-year mortgage that you wanted to say. Let me break that down.
Yeah, 50-year mortgages aren't really anything that's new. You have places like California, in which the cost of living is so high. A typical house, a $300,000 home here in Texas or in Dallas, which would take someone anywhere between 24 to 30 years to pay off, on an average or regular income, or even above average income, would take them 30. Well, that same home in which someone who makes $60,000 or $80,000 a year would be able to purchase, here, that same person making that type of money in California would need 60 years in order to pay that off, or 50 years in order to pay that off. And so it's not uncommon in California to have mortgages that are that lengthy, because they needed to do it to allow more people in order for more people to buy houses.
So let me ask you this: is the outrage unjustified? Or they just is this the thing that Black Twitter does? They just kind of get mad over nothing, or do you feel like it's a trap?
I mean, look, man. If I'm in the financial industry, I like it, right? If you got money to invest, think about it. When you look at mortgage-backed securities, and so what happens with those is you might have 100 homes. Those homes are then packaged up and put into one box. And that box now has a value based on the interest and money that is being paid out of those 100 homes. And someone may buy that because now they know that they have a pretty sure, steady income coming back. And then they can possibly resell it over a given period of time or during that period of time. So you got to it just depends on the reason or rationale or why they're upset, because extending the years that you can actually pay off a home opens the door up for more people to be able to purchase a home.
That's crazy, man. The whole shutdown in general, 43 days, the longest that we've had in history.
Right.
What were they even fighting about, for real? Like, we hear so many conflicting reports. What was the fight about?
Man, it really started off with insurance. And so people talk about the rebates and the things that come with insurance. Who should have really been upset is rural America. Because I want you to think about it. Texas, you have San Antonio, you have Dallas, you have Houston, and I'm missing one. But you have 4 blue pockets. And when I say blue pockets, let's say Democratic cities. But these cities also have major resources and hospitals and nonprofit clinics. Well, if you live in far East Texas and you have one hospital, that hospital may not be able to function if the Affordable Care Act is not available. because now they don't get the funding that they need or the rebates that they need in order to continue to function and be out there. And that's one of the dangers of what was happening. And then not just that, but you talk about rising healthcare costs. You had people who were looking at paying $600-700 a month that now would have had to pay $2,000 a month. And let me say this too. An increase in payments for anybody is hard hitting. I think I said before, I had a friend and they're a dentist and they were paying $1,200 a month to pay back their student loans. Well, when they did what they did with the student loans, their payment jumped up to almost $3,000. Completely undermined their whole life. And so, that is something that people need to take into consideration. And that's somebody who has a great income. But there are people who don't have that type of income who are going to suffer if the government doesn't provide some of these rebates or opportunities to pay less for things that we need.
Man, to the next situation, right? Tory Lanez, and I'm throwing this at
Wait a minute, hold on, man. Before we go back, hey, man, shout out to all the TSA workers and all the...
Man, shout out to all of them,
Yeah,
man.
man, and all the government workers.
Shout out
man.
to my sister. She worked for the government. She didn't get paid for 43 days.
Yeah,
Oh, my
man.
God.
Shout out to them, because I every morning, I fly every 48 hours.
Were you scared?
Well, never scared, but
Getting a little nervous?
no, you know what, man? I felt... I'm not gonna give my secret away how I plan my flights,
Right.
But I was really happy to see these brothers and sisters out there continuing to do their job and continue to work in support of making sure that America kept running. Because if they would have shut down, I mean, everybody would have shut down. The country would have shut down. It would greatly affect our economy, our way of life at this point, because now you have goods and services or goods that couldn't go from one place to another if certain employees, government employees, didn't come to work. And so shout out to you guys who came to work, man, and salute to you.
Shout out to y'all, man. Like I said, my sister, man, I know it affected somebody in my family, so I know how the shutdown is no joke.
Yeah.
It's no joke, bro. So on the Tory Lanez, and I know we didn't prepare for this, but I got to throw this at you because I forgot he did appeal and lost the appeal, right? And so what they say, the 3-judge panel on California's 2nd District of Appeal, they denied it. So he has to serve his full 10 years. Can he appeal again, or is that done? Once you appeal it, is it over?
No, it's not over.
Okay.
It's not over. I mean, what you got to look at, next time we come on, even if we got to do it by Zoom, I'll take a look.
Yeah.
Because he might have appealed based on ineffective counsel and saying that his lawyer wasn't prepared or didn't do what they needed to do, but you would have had to actually show that.
Gotcha.
Right? Like there should have been evidence that should have been used in his defense, and the lawyer didn't do it. And so you have to find and show that your lawyer absolutely sandbagged and walked you into prison. That case is a very, very interesting case.
Why do you say that? I don't think anybody knows what happened.
This is the thing. Statistically, you have a better chance of a man owning a firearm and discharging it than a woman. And then if you really take a look at the women who were involved in this, they really didn't seem like those type of women. On the flip side, there are plenty of you guys out there who got guns who shouldn't have guns, because ain't nobody trying to hurt you, ain't nobody coming after you, and you ain't got nothing nobody want. But you're carrying a gun because something in society or
Shout out RealLyfe Street Stars, nigga. Move. Hey.